All right, it's dark out here, but I got my flash on and I have another light as well. It's getting dark rather. I'm going to show you how to change a thermostat on a 2014 Dodge Challenger SXT. You can see this is 3.6 liter VVT. It should be kind of simple. I did one last year on a Dodge Durango and it wasn't too bad. I'm not a mechanic though, so bear with me. I just figured if I could use some help on it, somebody else might be able to use some help too. So here we go. So first thing you want to do is take off this housing for this hose right here. And you can see it's a flathead screw. You just unloose that coupling and take that hose off so that you can get under it. All right, as you can see, I backed that off a little bit. And now I'm just going to take that off. And they said that you need to put a bucket down here. I recently got my coolant flush too, so it's going to suck because I'm going to lose some of it, but I'm going to attempt to put a bucket down in there and catch some of it when I take my thermostat off. So the video I watched was for 2015, and I think the thermostat hose might have been over here, maybe, I'm not sure, but mine, as you can see, is back there. So we're going to need to take that off too. So you maneuver this around a little bit so we can get to that. But as you can see, I can't really put a bucket down in there like how I wanted to. So I got these flat pans, actually like little plastic dinner pans. I'm just gonna set it in there and catch it. I got a few of them, so I'm gonna set it in there, catch some of it, pour it in my bucket, switch it out. I'm just gonna set them side by side, switch it out like that, make it do what it does. And I'm gonna pour those in a bucket to try to salvage some of it. I did get another container of antifreeze, but if I can salvage whatever comes out of here, then I'll just go ahead and do that. All right, I didn't lose too much taking that part out. You can see right here, I could not get this off from this side, and I'm not really gonna mess with it because I can reach up under it. So I would advise taking that off if you can get it off. I'm just not gonna mess with it. It's getting kind of dark. But I was able to get this off. It wasn't as easy as I thought it was, but I pulled that clamp back after I loosened that up a bit. And as you can see, that's about how much coolant came out of the hose right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the thermostat off, which is right here under that hose once again. So we'll take that off next. All right, as you can see, I got it off there. That hole is where it used to be. Poured out my residual coolant right there. I would say, here's the old one right here. Got that out. I will say it's probably gonna be a lot quicker by not taking this hose off. But if you can take this hose off, or if you do have the time to take this hose off, or if you have the daylight, like I should have done this earlier to take the hose off, I would advise taking it off because it'd be a heck of a lot easier to get to that thermostat with all this not in the way. So to take it off, you have a little connection here. I think this is like a temperature gauge or something like that. You're supposed to be able to push this in, pull it out. This car is 7.5 years old. All this stuff is original, so it's probably a little bit stuck. I couldn't get it off. I only messed with it a little bit because it's dark out here, but you just take that off. Same concept for the front part of the hose. You back this part off, and then you should be able to lift this entire system up. I think it has some screws down here too. Couple screws around. Just check. You got a couple screws around. There's one here. It might be another one somewhere else. I think it was one on the Dodge Durango I did last year, and I took it off last year. But either way, you'll take this off. It's probably gonna be a heck of a lot easier. But as you can see, I do have mine off right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the new one on. I didn't lose that much coolant. Like I said, I just recently got my coolant refilled like a week and a half ago before my thermostat went out. So I didn't lose that much, but I would be able to get to this area better, and I would be able to not let some of that coolant get on the belt. So I'm gonna clean that up when I finish too. There's a rubber housing also that they put a lot of emphasis on making sure that you remove, because quite often from what I've seen, whenever people would take these thermostats out, that housing would remain on the inside. It's like a rubber gasket for the thermostat, and as you can see, mine actually came out just about perfect with the thermostat. It remained inside the thermostat. So you just want to make sure you get that out, because the new thermostat housing does come with its own rubber gasket, so you don't want to leave that in. So make sure you take that out. Mine did come out, so you don't see that on the stuck in here at the end. But I'm just checking it to make sure there's nothing else in there. It's good to go. That's the old one, and as you can see, this is the new one. That's the old one. Rubber gasket is inside, and this is the new one with the rubber gasket on the new one inside. So I'll just put this back in the same way I took that out, I'll put those 2 screws back inside these 2 holes. You see that hole up top and that hole down bottom. That's where these 2 screws came from. I'll go ahead and put those in and then snap this back together. All right, as you can see, that's the brand new one that I have on. So now all you have to do is reattach this hose and crank it back up. I didn't lose that much antifreeze, so I'm gonna put a little bit in there, but I shouldn't need much. And then we'll go from there. All right, I got it all put back together. I put that back down, that top part that goes over that air hose, because I did remove that, as y'all could see earlier. Didn't have to put this back together, of course, because I didn't take it off, so that made it a little bit easier. I put this back on. Now I'm going to tighten this right here back down right quick. Almost at the last step here. Just going to tighten this back down. You can see that brings that back up to make that hose secure again. It's already pretty secure. I actually almost forgot it. It's pretty secure just putting it on there, but you gotta have that tightened up because you don't want that coming off later on, I would imagine. A couple more turns here. I imagine that is good to go. I'm pretty strong and I'm not pulling that off with a couple good tugs, so I think that's good to go. We got the hose back on. As you can see, everything is secure under there. That's the hose. You can see the thermostat right there. I wiped down the inside of that. I still got some in the bottom. That's not as bad. That's just down there on the floor. I'm gonna rinse that out right there off of the floor. And I wiped off the belt where I had some because my pan failed me. And I'm gonna put a little bit more of the coolant in here. I didn't lose that much, so I'm just gonna fill it up to the fill line right there, and that's it. Once again, I hate that I even had to do it because, as you can see, this is brand new antifreeze fluid in there. Brand spanking new, just got it a week and a half ago. But I got the one that was recommended. I went to AutoZone, got the one that was recommended for the 2014 Dodge Challenger, and I'm just gonna fill it up to this line right here and that fill line, and then I'm gonna run it, let it get back through the system, and we'll be good to go.